Play hooky on Friday, whitewash on Saturday.
I would, Aunt Polly, but there ain't any whitewash.
Oh, yes, there is. I mix 3 whole bucketfuls myself.
That whole great big fence?
Every inch of it.
And you don't want any streaks in it, do you, Aunt Polly?
Nary a one.
I'll tell the boys you can't go swimming, 'cause you gotta whitewash the old fence. Bye, Tom.
Swimming, I am. But of course you'd rather work.
What do you call work?
Well, ain't that work?
Well, all I know is it suits Tom Sawyer.
Say, let me whitewash a little.
Think I'd let a dude whitewash?
Oh, come on now. I'd let you if you was me.
No. If it were the inside, I wouldn't mind. And Aunt Polly wouldn't. But she's awful particular about the outside.
Oh, shucks. I'd be careful. I'll give you the rest of my apple.
Well, here, no. I'm afeard.
And I'll give you this, too.
Ain't that a humdinger? What is it?
It's a knob off a brass door knocker.
All my life I wanted a knob off a brass door knocker. Well, here. Quick, before I change my mind. Don't tell Aunt Polly.
I ain't seen a thing last time.
Aunt Polly! Aunt Polly!
Polly this, Aunt Polly that. Aunt Polly here, Aunt Polly there. Well, what's the matter now? Can't you tend to work and leave a body in peace?
Mayn't I go now, Aunt Polly?
How much have you done?
It's all done. 3 coats, too.
Now, see here, Tom. Don't you lie to me. I can't bear it.
Well, look.
Huh. Well, I never. There's no getting round it. You can work when you've a mind to. Well, run along and play. Virtue is its own reward, as the good book says.
So I'm sure most of you know this famous scene from The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, where Tom uses reverse psychology on his friends and neighbors to get them to paint the fence, to whitewash the fence. I'm using this as an example to show you reverse psychology, meaning the painting of the fence in reality is a bad thing, at least labor-wise when you're doing it for free. But his friends and neighbors not only did it for free, but they paid Tom Sawyer to do it. So, in essence, it truly was an awful thing for the friends and neighbors. And that is the art of reverse psychology. The reason I bring this up is because Fox News is busy, along with other conservatives to convince the participants of the left-right paradigm, at least on the right side, that the coronavirus vaccine is a wonderful thing. Of course, my last two uploads, I've shown how Fox News is presenting it as this exciting revelation that warp speed is working. But it's going to take more than that. So conservatives and conservative media have put their heads together to figure out, how can we present this to the right side of the paradigm in a reverse psychology type of way to convince them that they need the vaccine? Well, take a look at this.
And we are back with the Fox News alert. The Justice Department charging 2 Chinese hackers accused of trying to get their hands on COVID-19 vaccine research. Correspondent Jillian Turner explores their connections to China's government. Hi, Jillian.
Good evening, Shannon. China is under intense scrutiny on multiple fronts tonight over alleged attempts to interfere with U.S. vaccine trials and steal information from American biotech firms. Today, the Justice Department accused the Chinese officials are acting like an organized criminal syndicate.
China steals intellectual property and research which bolsters its economy. And then they use that illicit gain as a weapon.
The Justice Department claims 2 suspects stole information from a range of tech firms and pharmaceutical companies about drugs currently in development. The suspects will likely never face justice here because China doesn't have an extradition treaty with the United States.
Can you guys tell me if any of this manufacturing has happened in China?
Over on Capitol Hill, reps from 5 pharmaceutical giants faced a grilling from Republicans about their ties to China, including major supply chain issues. All 5 companies assured lawmakers that actual doses would be made here in the U.S., but they couldn't guarantee vaccine ingredients wouldn't come from China. President Trump concedes the need for a vaccine soon means GOP calls to reverse China's hold on drug ingredient production may have to wait.
We're willing to work with anybody that's going to get us a good result.
Democrats, however, are more concerned about price tags and profits earned by Big Pharma. Illinois Rep. Jan Schakowsky demanding to know just how much each company plans to upsell their vaccine to Americans. And the execs mostly passed her test.
We will not sell it at cost.
We are selling that to the government at no profit.
We will not be selling vaccine at cost.
We will be providing vaccine at a not-for-profit price during the emergency pandemic phase.
Well, turns out U.S. lawmakers aren't the only ones well aware that a vaccine could become a golden ticket. These hackers make it very clear that U.S. adversaries are now looking for opportunities to cash in on the pandemic. Shannon?
All right. Jillian Turner, thank you very much. Well, as Kevin Cork showed us earlier, the president was back in the White House press briefing room today and was as bullish as ever on the potential of Operation Warp Speed to deliver a vaccine in record time.
Getting a vaccine remains a top priority. 2 vaccine candidates are entering the final stage of clinical trials this month. This was achieved in record time.
David Dodd, CEO of the biotechnology company GeoVax, joins us to discuss brand new developments in the vaccine race, which include his company. David, welcome back. Good to have you.
Thank you.
I want to start with some of the reporting that Jillian was talking about, because I know when we had you on before, you talked about a partnership, at least at the time, that you all were working with a Chinese vaccine company to try to move this thing along and expedite it. The New York Times today says U.S. accuses hackers of trying to steal coronavirus vaccine data for China. Says the Chinese hackers operated with the assistance of their country's intelligence agencies. Their interests were broad, but recently grew to include information about coronavirus vaccine development and other virus-related data. Do you have any concerns along that front?
Very much so. I have tremendous concerns along that front. In fact, in late April, early April, we made a decision not to proceed with what was going to be a partnership or a collaboration with a Chinese company. We felt very positive about that company, but we just decided that the best route for us was to go forward on our own. So we informed them towards the end of of March that we were not going to proceed working with them. We did not sign an agreement. Subsequently, I had a discussion with the FBI because they were very concerned about what was going on. We were well aware of that ourselves, and so we have proceeded on our own in full development for four vaccines against COVID-19 because we just became, along with many others, concerned about the amount of activity and inquisitiveness, I would say, about what we were doing and our intellectual property and our know-how.
So today, a hearing, most of it virtual, involving a number of leaders of these pharma companies who are working on vaccines. And there were two main issues. One of them was price. This is what Bernie Sanders tweeted out not long ago about this. He says pharmaceutical companies have been given $6 billion in taxpayer dollars and more to come to develop a coronavirus vaccine. Once a safe and effective vaccine is approved by the FDA, it must be made available to all for free. This is no time for profiteering. We know this doesn't get done for free, David, so how will pricing work as far as you understand it in this case?
Well, in early March, when I was in Washington, D.C., and when I first met you, and I was meeting with different members of Congress, either representatives or senators, and even members on the staff of the House of Energy and Commerce Committee, we made a commitment at GeoVax that we would develop the vaccine and we would do it without making any profit. We would contribute to the public good because we believe that strongly in it. We certainly would cover our costs, but what we would do would be able to deliver a vaccine without garnering a profit from that. And I think in this particular time, that's what most companies are hopefully considering in doing. Not that they're going to have a loss at it, but that they're not going to profit from it. And from my interactions and discussions with any other pharmaceutical companies or vaccine development companies, I think by and large, most are willing to do it on those same terms. I think we were probably one of the first to go out in the front and I informed people in Congress, I informed people at BARDA and others that we would be willing to deliver a vaccine without making a profit, but certainly covering our costs.
Well, that was back when you and I could be in the same TV studio safely. We look forward to those days ahead, and we wish you all the best as well as the others who are fighting to get us a vaccine so that life can return to a safer place. David Dodd, thank you.
Thank you. Be safe.
So it doesn't take a genius to figure out this reverse psychology angle. Just say the ChiComs are trying to steal the vaccine, and all of a sudden you have conservatives clamoring that we need to protect the vaccine recipe and get that sucker into every one of our veins. They knew exactly what they're doing. And remember, Fox News isn't the only ones talking about the ChiComs.
ChiComs. That's right. Oh, all right, welcome back. We're going to cut right in right now. Thank you, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, for that. But it's like, oh, eastern wind, we kill you, Thank you for the mission. Meanwhile, your military training to cut the ding-a-ling off. Show the powerful female general. The top Pentagon official, we're fighting racism and our brown Band-Aid, and it's all just, America teach their children how to play with themselves. And we give you fentanyl, don't worry. And then meanwhile, impeachment hearings. And they were in there with big square briefcases full of $100 bills, giving them to Bill Clinton. And he was on tape going, oh, thanks a lot, I appreciate it. I'm going to get you those missile secrets now. And so they've got their new missile.
Yeah, the Dongfeng is what is called DF.
Dongfeng.
No, seriously.
And by the way, you try that here, we kill you. And kill Christians and sell their organs.
Oh, and don't forget.
But I'm Chinese, so it's okay. ChiComs.
That's right.
Oh, John Brennan do a good job for me. Bernie Sanders. China's got tens of thousands of front companies. Their propaganda is in every big movie you see, folks. Hollywood sold out the People's Liberation Army for funding and made films for Chinese propaganda, so almost all films are approved by Chinese communists now. It makes the films really dumbed down and stupid. Let me tell you who took over Hollywood. The communist Chinese. I've seen the jihadists and the Saudi Arabian money become so powerful in their influencing of Hollywood and the popular culture, that they've basically gained the upper hand even against Zionism and the different varieties of Zionism that exist. They've got their new missile.
Yeah, the Dongfeng is what it's called, DF.
Dongfeng.
No, seriously.
And by the way, you try that here, we kill you. And kill Christians and sell their organs.
Oh, and don't forget.
But I'm Chinese, so it's okay. ChiComs.
That's right.
Oh, John Brennan, do a good job
They
for
are
me.
engaged.
They have to get the shot. The vaccinations are so important. This is really going around now. They have to get their shots.
It's okay. ChiComs.
That's right.
Oh.
No, I'm not overpromising. I don't know who said it, but whatever the maximum is, whatever you can humanly do, we're going to have. And we hope we're going to come up with a good vaccine. Johnson & Johnson and Oxford and lots of different great companies, representatives of our country in some ways. NIH is working very hard and doing a terrific job. No, I hope we're going to have a vaccine, and we're going to fast track it like you've never seen before. If we come up with a vaccine, I think they probably will.
And who's in charge of that Operation Warp Speed?
We have, you know who's in charge of it, honestly? I am. I'll tell you, I'm really in charge of it. I could say somebody else. I will say we're dealing with...
It's okay. ChiComs.
That's right.
Oh, it'll probably, unfortunately, get worse before it gets better. Something I don't like saying about things, but that's the way it is. It's what we have. You look over the world, it's all over the world, and it tends to do that. Instead, asking Americans to use masks, socially distance, and employ vigorous hygiene, wash your hands every chance you get while sheltering high-risk populations. We are imploring young Americans to avoid packed bars and other crowded indoor gatherings, be safe, and be smart.
You said that wearing a mask was an act of patriotism. If that is the case, why don't you do it more frequently?
Well, I do actually do it when I need. I mean, I carry the mask when I have to go. I went into Walter Reed Hospital the other day. I have the mask right here, and I carry it, and I will use it gladly. No problem with it. And I've said that, and I say, if you can, use the mask. When you can, use the mask. If you're close to each other, if you're in a group, I would put it on when I'm in a group. If I'm in an elevator and there are other people with me, including like security people, it's not their fault. They have to be in the elevator. I want to protect them also. I put on a mask. I have no problem with the masks. I view it this way. Anything that potentially can help, and that certainly can potentially help, is a good thing. I have no problem. I carry it. I wear it. You saw me wearing it a number of times, and I'll continue, please.
So it's okay. ChiComs.
That's right.
Oh. But certainly social distancing, I want to, that's common sense. 6 feet to me is common sense. I'd like to say maybe make it a little bit further.